Hi, Roger at Weathering Heights. So we have that transition from snow to rain beginning to take place with much lighter precipitation, a little bit of a lull that'll be moving in for this afternoon in terms of travel. Should be much improved here in another couple of hours. But this is a very complex weather system. Try to explain what the models have been trying to coordinate with. Jet stream energy is picking up here and especially across the Gulf coastal areas. There's lots of thunderstorm activity that's been in progress. There's a central area of low pressure that is the main parent area of low pressure, which will try to consolidate. And the whole thing will then shift off to the east with a big surge of moisture coming in sort of three different pieces. The first piece going through right now, we have a second piece that's yet to come on through, and then even a third piece. And finally, the cold front back behind this particular weather system here, which will then scoot on through and bring us some gusty winds and blustery conditions on the backside of that cold front. So this is the latest computer modeling and valid roughly about the same time as the radar chart there. So in about 6 hours, valid at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Here's that first surge of moisture that transitions basically to light rain shower activity. And then a little bit of a lull in the secondary sort of light spotty rain shower activity. No major winds to worry about over the course really right into Wednesday. This is valid at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But you see a little bit of a surge here coming through, and that's the second surge, and then yet a third surge with the front, and that takes place during the morning hours on Christmas morning, Thursday. Once that front goes on by, we start to dry out. That's valid 1 o'clock Thursday, and then you see the very tight pressure gradient with this parent area of low pressure at 957. That's an inland bomb. Not untypical, actually, in parts of Quebec near Hudson Bay, but just running that back, this is the transition and why computer modeling has been a little bit out of sorts with a lot of different details and little bit of pieces here and there, all trying to come together and consolidate. And everything does consolidate. Finally, right here, we have the classic calm ahead and then the frontal boundary. A lot of thunderstorm activity. We're going to be off the East Coast. Okay, this is the North American Meso or NAM, and we're going to focus in on wind only here, with maximum wind gusts. And as we get a little bit closer to Christmas Day, we can see just a little bit of wind issues. We're talking 38 to 42 in the southern part of Vermont around Bennington County. And the real issue, though, is going to be as the front goes on through and then just what's behind the front. And we can start to see this. Basically, this is valid 7 o'clock on Christmas morning. Wind gusts running 38 to 42 miles per hour. And it's this surge of wind that really moves across parts of New York and then kind of falls apart a little bit. And so you can see how this translates. This would be valid about 10 o'clock on Christmas morning. It's pretty strong winds off to the west of us. You're looking winds in excess of 42, 46 miles per hour, up around 50, and even over parts of Lake Ontario, you're looking at winds greater than 50 miles an hour. These winds try to make it into Vermont, and then they do fall apart. And this is what we've been playing with now for quite a while. So this wind event is really just looking at like a marginal wind event. And comparing this with the European model, I feel reasonably confident that this is going to be more of a New York issue. And then our heights of land with a southwesterly wind, the front goes on by, and this burst of wind here is going to be more of a St. Lawrence Valley issue and across New York, and strongest really eastern Great Lakes. But as we get into about 1 o'clock on Christmas Day, the wind gusts in that green, you're talking greater than 34 knots, close to 40 miles per hour. You're looking at those wind gusts translating downward with strongest winds indicated here occurring kind of a downsloping off of some of our local Adirondacks, but staying west of Vermont. That could be a problem there. But for the utilities, things are looking up. I think we're looking at basically a marginal wind event. I think east of the Green Mountains will be the main issue, and this will probably last into the evening hours before things completely calm down. Very blustery conditions as that area of low pressure powers up and translates up into the Canadian Maritimes. And once again, here's the latest transition. As you can see, the snowfall amounts, in some cases close to 4 inches, even a little bit more than that in the Green Mountains. This is all out of here as we start to see a little bit of a lull in the action. and a transition to rain. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.